All right, hi once again, everyone. It's Eric here, not on Facebook Live. Let's take that off. This is just a regular edition of Weather for Weather Geeks. We did Facebook Live Friday evening when we had the potential for some storms on Saturday. Thankfully, the severe weather threat did not really materialize on Saturday. It also did not really materialize today. Different story to our south and east, but we lucked out today and didn't have any severe weather. What we did have earlier today, some pretty vivid shelf clouds. Now, this picture's from a couple of years ago, but I got a lot of great pictures today on Facebook and Twitter and sent into our email, weatherpics@wfmj.com, of these shelf clouds that rolled across northern Ohio with this morning's thunderstorms. And the overall idea here with shelf clouds, these are not dangerous clouds. It's not a funnel cloud. It's not something that's going to spin down a tornado. But a shelf cloud forms when the rain-cooled air from a thunderstorm rushes out ahead of it, kind of like acting like a mini cold front almost. That cold, more dense air, or colder, more dense air, undercuts the warm, humid air that's out ahead of the storm. That warm, humid air then gets a kick upwards. It rises, it cools, the water vapor condenses, forms a low-hanging cloud then. And a lot of times when you have a shelf cloud that rolls overhead, you get a big gust of wind almost immediately afterwards, and then it starts really pouring rain. So this is right along the leading edge of a pretty good thunderstorm when you see these kinds of clouds, and we had those this morning. A couple of rounds of storms today. The round that produced the shelf clouds was this morning. You're going to see that right there, moving through right around 11:30. Then we had another round that produced some decent lightning in Columbiana County right there. But for the most part, for the rest of us, it was showers. Now, this definitely got very strong as it pushed south and east, and it's still going on this evening at 7:10. Borderline, you might be able to classify this as a derecho when all is said and done, but bottom line, this is a big wind event for parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. This rolled through West Virginia, the Panhandle of Maryland. At 7:11 p.m., it was moving through D.C. and Baltimore and heading off to the south, and all sorts of warnings along that. And this has a history of producing a lot of wind damage and a lot of reports of hail. As nearby today as the Panhandle of West Virginia, we had some pretty beefy hail here. I'll query a couple of these. You know, this is south and west of Pittsburgh, Panhandle of West Virginia, just east of Wheeling. We had an inch to inch and a half diameter hail in some spots through here. That's pretty big hail for our region. Definitely these storms meant some business as they rolled to areas south and east of Youngstown earlier on today. We're kind of in between watch boxes right now. We have our big thunderstorms out here. We have a severe thunderstorm watch out here, and nothing in between. It's a decent evening outside. It feels pretty nice. We're going to stay dry for the next few hours, I think. I think as we go through the overnight, we're going to see a resurgence of showers and thunderstorms. Now, I don't think it's a widespread thing, but hit or miss stuff, yeah, that's going to be a possibility overnight as a disturbance moves overhead, kicks up some moisture, and a couple of showers and storms around northern Ohio and northwest PA during the wee hours of tomorrow morning. Now, of higher impact will be, of course, your weather for tomorrow morning, as this is when most people are up and around, and the weather could impact your plans. The good news for tomorrow morning is I think we're looking largely dry. I can't rule out a quick shower in the morning, but I think the higher risk of wet weather will be as we get into the afternoon. We have a weak cool front sliding in from the north, and right around early to mid-afternoon, there could be some showers and storms that line up along this. And then the front will push south, and much like today, it'll probably end up being a pretty decent evening tomorrow evening. Now, that front will then settle and stall just to our south, and it's probably going to be buried far enough south that Wednesday's a decent day, Thursday's a decent day. I don't think it's going to be bright and sunny. We're going to see a lot of high, mid-level clouds on the north side of the moisture, but it's probably largely dry Wednesday and into the day on Thursday. That'll probably change some as we go into Friday. Now, the atmosphere tomorrow will be pretty unstable. Let me back this up, actually, and show you early afternoon. The instability highest south and southeast of Youngstown, but still some decent instability here with a front coming in during the warm part of the day. Some of these storms could mean some business tomorrow afternoon. Notice the atmosphere becomes much more stable by tomorrow night and into Wednesday. Here's a look at what I have for the severe weather threats for tomorrow. Now, a lot of this will be pretty garden variety thunderstorm activity, I think, but there's a chance that some of these taller storms could bring down some strong winds. Now, the wind field from the surface up a few thousand feet isn't very impressive tomorrow, but if the storms tap into some of the wind energy that's way up there, the storms have to get pretty tall in order to do that, but it's possible. It's also possible we see a little bit of hail tomorrow, but I don't think these will be the kind of storms that produce the kind of hail that we saw today to our south and southeast. So we'll keep our eye on this for tomorrow afternoon. Stay weather aware tomorrow. Definitely, once again, the higher risk of severe weather tomorrow is to our east. Central PA up into the Poconos, the Catskills, and into the Hudson Valley, and then over towards eastern parts of New England as well. So higher risk of severe weather over there. Now, the dew points behind that front as it settles to the south will be manageable, I think, for Wednesday and Thursday. It'll be pretty nice outside. Again, not bright and sunny, but pretty comfortable Wednesday and Thursday. Notice the highest atmospheric moisture shunted off to our south. But watch what happens as I roll this forward into Friday. We're going to see the moisture returning. It's going to be a more humid day Friday. I think we've got a higher chance of wet weather coming our way at the end of the week on Friday. And that risk for this spotty shower and thunderstorm action will continue as we head into the weekend. Early next week, definitely some model challenges out there. This model I'm showing you here, I believe I have the European model plotted up, shows a drier air mass early next week, perhaps decreasing chances for showers and storms. But that's a tough forecast at this point. Quick look at the longer range, and it's a sea of orange or red here across the lower 48 states in the 8 to 14 day period. So that means good chances or high chances of warmer than average temperatures. Now, it doesn't look like a hot pattern to me. This doesn't look like the kind of pattern where we're going to squeeze out some early season upper 80s and 90s. But a continuation of the general handful of degrees above average, yeah, I can see that. You know, keep in mind our averages at this time of the year are 70-ish, upper 60s to around 70. And we're in a pattern now, I think, that's going to produce a lot of mid-70s for daytime highs. That's both in the next 7 days and probably as we roll forward into the 8 to 14 day period as well. So I wouldn't classify it as a hot pattern, but not a cool one either. It's probably going to be somewhat above average almost every day, right through the end of May. So how about that? Making up some lost ground here after very chilly and clammy and frankly lousy weather in March and April. All right, that's it for tonight's weather for Weather Geeks. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope to see you back here tomorrow evening. Check out my update tonight on 21 News at 11. I'll have some fresh model information and break down your hourly precip chances on your Tuesday.